post-graduation was up in Washington, so we were up there all this last week. So,
Who's building?
Jim, so I'm gonna go over and take a look and see what's going on. They were forming up all the what they call the flat work or the outsides. They were doing that and had it out. So we'll see how it
The foundation?
No, like sidewalks,
Oh, okay.
things like that. And I elected to put a 4-foot apron all the way around the house so there's no combustibles right up against the house. And then I took a lot of PG&E dirt and I extended the level that the house is on by 16 feet. There was so much dirt. So anyway, there's more room in the back. So we did some areas where you could have seating. Although I have a large front porch. It's 8 feet by 22 feet, and the back is larger still, probably 40 feet. So, but then I'm just going to step down, and there's going to be still. So I'm putting in a hot tub because of my back. So I had surgery on my not too long ago, and then I'm putting a dry sauna in and trying to make it so I can get more years out of this back. It's very arthritic. So. So anyway, how are you guys doing? You're in Orlando?
Yeah, we're just right out there.
Oh, you're from Bridget. So are you in agreement that you do one more?
I said since we're more unified in our positions in life, we tend to be kind of that was a
Bridget and I see things slightly differently. She's a very independent woman.
So, yeah, in our case,
but I find that
always arguments were good, and then, I mean, everyone really loves you. And so,
I had to take the reins because time is moving on, and if you're going to use your insurance money, you got to do something. So I just kind of said, we're building.
Good morning. Thank you all for being here. We'd like to get started in the next couple of minutes, so if you could find a seat somewhere. There are some extra chairs being brought out. They're over here in the back to my right. So if you'd like to grab a chair and sit it somewhere, please do so. Along those lines, if you have empty spaces in your row that you're not saving spaces for, if you could move towards the aisle. So move in towards the red carpet. If there's open space, we can get some more people to come in from the sides to fill in those open chairs. Thank you. We want to remind everybody, especially during the diploma presentations, to please stay off of the runway. So when they're handing out diplomas, please stay off the runway so you're not in the picture that we're trying to get. And then parents of graduates, if you could pay special attention to this announcement. Once the presentation of diplomas is about to begin, we have this row to my left in the front where parents may come and sit and take a picture of their child, their graduate, getting their diploma. We would ask that you sit here when you get when your child's row is getting ready to receive their diploma. And then once your child has their diploma, if you could exit out to the side and return to your seat so that another parent could come and take your spot, that would be great. So we would ask you not to jump over the podium, but to come around the side so that you don't interfere with our photographer taking a picture from the middle towards our diploma station out there. Again, thank you for being here. We'll get started here in a minute or two. Thank you.
Good morning, and to my class, buenos noches. Welcome, friends and family, to our 2021 graduation. We're excited to start this new life adventure with all of you. We are grateful to all who have come to support us, especially to those who have been right there with us through this whole experience. As we branch out and discover who we are and who we want to be, we will cherish these 4 years that we have spent together. Here's the class of 2021.
All right, now we're going to pray, so let's bow our heads. Dear Lord, thank you for this amazing, beautiful day you have given us. Thank you because it's not too hot or too cold, and that we can have some shade outside. Thank you for all those who have come out and be with those who couldn't have, and that we might have a smooth graduation. In your name, amen.
To the class of 2021, what comes next? This is a question that I guarantee you every person who has ever been a graduate has been asked, or a version of sorts anyways. Even as second graders in Mrs. Brayman's and Mrs. Jensen's class, we were already talking about what we wanted our futures to look like. Whether it be Stacy wanting to be a veterinarian, or myself wanting to be a grocery store clerk, which have both changed, by the way. The question of what we want to be when we grow up, or simply what comes next, has been quite frequently asked over the years. As much of our class went through PAA, we always seemed to know what came next. After second grade came third grade with Mrs. Myers, then Mr. Westerfeld, Mr. Vixie, and then began our high school journey. And those who have joined us more recently from Chico or elsewhere have likely followed a similar path. I remember going to the quad a few days before the first day of my freshman year to practice my locker combination and make mental notes about my class schedule so that on the first day of school, I would know exactly where to go and exactly what came next. And any question I had of what to expect could be quickly answered by someone who had been on the same journey before, whether it was an upperclassman or an adult. But there was one day in November where we couldn't stick to the schedule. There was no longer a plan. Sometimes you can ask over and over again, what do I do? Or where do I go from here? Or simply, what comes next? And the only answer you're left with is, I don't know. There were a lot of those moments and a lot of unknowns for our class during our sophomore year. But the one thing we still had was each other. When one of us was in a situation of what next, I would hear people say, I don't know what's next, but know that I'm here for you. But as we all know, our journey didn't end sophomore year. Junior year came with its ups and downs, successes and hardships. But the hardest thing about junior year was losing interactions with the people we had grown to rely on so much to a global pandemic. Though we might have been able to see one another's eyebrows and foreheads through our computer screens, this didn't replace the hallway conversations, the lunches, the discussions, and just the everyday interactions with our teachers and with one another. This was something that no one knew how to prepare for or deal with, leaving almost everyone, including those who we had once turned to for answers, with the question of, what comes next? Will we get a senior year? And if so, what will it look like? But despite all we've gone through, both together and on our own, we made it to where we are today. And I'm so incredibly grateful for each person here and for supporting how far we've come. But now, class of 2021, I want you to ask yourselves, what comes next for you? And I know that Walla Walla, Southern, PUC, Butte College, or Chico State might be the first thing that comes to your mind at the moment. But as we go on, as we end this chapter and start a new one, it's important to acknowledge that there will be times in our lives where we may not know what classes to take, what major to pursue, and other life decisions we may not know the answers to. But it's important to remember that that's okay. Maya Angelou said, if you must look back, do so forgivingly. If you must look forward, do so prayerfully. However, the wisest thing you can do is to be present in the present gratefully. I am so grateful for the parents, the teachers, the class, and the community that have made me the person I am and defined my journey to this point. Everyone's journey is unique and their own and purposeful. And as you live your reality of what comes next, look to the one who knows what is to come, because he says to each and every one of us, I know the future, but let's find out together. Thank you, class of 2021, for a journey of a lifetime, and thank all of you for making this journey possible.
I would like to thank some people for what they have done for me over the years. First off, Shadow deserves all of the credit for my success. I don't think I would know where I would be without him. Then my mom, dad, brother, uncle, and grandparents have been the family I have needed over the years. During those years, there have been people like family to me. Those families are the Mallorys, the Roaches, the Lees, the Osifos, and the Christiansons. I have been blessed to have a lot of great teachers over the years. I am grateful for all of them. I would like to specifically thank Mr. Maycumber, Mr. Main, Mrs. Moss, Mr. Rasmussen, Mr. Westerfeld, Mr. Nystrom, whose office I found myself in quite often, Mr. Shaw, Mr. Benchen, Mrs. Muth, and Del Hughes. Thank you to my classmates for being along for the ride. Specifically, Samuel, Garrett, Aaron, William, Mahalia, and Andrew. Thank you all, and I couldn't thank you enough. To my classmates, you are the only group of people I could wake up at 7 in the morning to see. We've been there for each other through a lot, and we've made some amazing memories along the way. Thank you for everything, and I'm really going to miss you guys.
I'd like to begin by thanking the most amazing parents who have gotten me to where I am today and have loved and supported me through all of my ups and downs. Mom, you're the most hardworking person I have ever known. You are such an amazing role model, and I wouldn't be who I am today without all of your love, advice, support, and encouragement. Dad, I so admire your dedication, hard work, and commitment to God. Thank you for always being a sense of stability and support in our family. Emily and Ethan, thank you for being the best siblings I could ask for. You both are such incredible people, and I'm so blessed to have you both in my life. Uncle Jared and Aunt Tracy, thank you for making the long trip to be here today. You both are always so supportive. Megan and Bryce, being with you is always so much fun. Thank you for all of the amazing memories we've shared and for being such amazing cousins. Aunt Cheryl and Uncle Joe, Uncle Bob and Aunt Sil, thank you for always being there for me and supporting me. And Jonathan and Laura, Stephen, Ryan, and Rachel, thank you for being such great cousins and for always investing in me. And thank you to my whole entire family for being a constant sense of support and for making such an impact on my life. As I've grown up, I've experienced the most supportive and encouraging environment that I wouldn't be the same without. Thank you to all of my teachers and mentors who have supported and taught me in my music. You have been so instrumental in shaping such an important part of my life. Thank you to both the friends who have invested in a relationship with me, but also to the parents who have treated me as one of their own. Thank you to the junior class for all of the memories and the experiences we've shared together. And Alex, I'm so thankful to have you in my life and for the time that we spent together. Thank you for always being there for me. To the seniors, the class of 2021, I can't imagine my year anywhere else but spent with you guys, and I'm so thankful for all of the memories we've shared. Thank you to all the teachers who have helped me grow both academically and as a person. You all have made such an amazing impact on my life. Thank you to Mr. Main, Mr. Maycumber, and Coach for not only being so important to today and to this weekend, but for always supporting and investing in me. And finally, I wouldn't be who I am today without such an amazing church community. Thank you to the pastors and to the entire church family for not only helping me as I grow in my relationship with God, but for making me the person I am today.
Today, I'd like to start off by thanking a few families. These families have given me incredible support over the years. They've fed me, they've taken me into their homes, and they've made me their family, and I wouldn't be here without these families. So I'd like to thank the Mallorys, the Selbys, the Kiddos, the Rolfs, the Poblanos, the Nelsons, the Nunezes, and the Eldenbergs for making me a part of your families. I know I always have a safe place to run to with you guys. I would also like to give a special thank you to the Main family. You both have inspired me so much over the years, and Mr. Main, you have helped me grow my love for history, and I couldn't thank you enough. You both have been my role models and mentors, and I could not thank both of you enough for that. I would also like to thank my church family. I've known most of you for as long as I can remember, and I cannot thank any of you enough for the memories of late nights at camp, long talks about God, and long hours on buses together. My relationship with God would not be as strong as it is without each one of you. While I continue to talk about families, I think it's pretty important to mention my family. Grandma and Grandpa, Nana and Papa, thank you all for showing me what good food is. Not only have you filled my tummy, but you have also filled my heart with what it means to be loving and kind. Thank you. Thank you to all my aunts, uncles, nephews, cousins, and sister-in-law for supporting me over the years, even from afar. You have all managed to make me feel valued, even if you're not close to me physically. So thank you. To my brother, thank you for pushing me to do what you never got to do and to be the best that I can be. You gave me the drive to do the impossible, and I'm already on my way of making you a proud big brother. Mom, thank you for always being there for me no matter what. You have never failed to make me laugh when I need it and calm me down when I'm stressed. You've been one of my biggest supporters, and my dreams will come true due to you. Thank you so much. Dad, thank you for always being someone I can talk to. You make me feel safe and comfortable, and I can't thank you enough for the hours that I've spent talking and crying on your shoulder. You've counseled me through the most difficult times in my life, and I wouldn't have gotten through them without you. Thank you to all of my teachers and college professors. Although your classes are tough and I've cried a decent amount because of you all, I've also learned a lot, and it's built my character more than I could ever say in words. To all my friends, if I were to name every single one of you, I would cry and be a hot mess and be here for forever. So I'm not going to do that. But to all of my friends, thank you for giving me some of the best memories of my life, being my full-time counselors and my biggest cheerleaders. You guys have been there for me unconditionally, and I couldn't thank you all enough. I love you so much, and thank you. I'd also like to take a minute to thank all of the friends and family that are no longer a part of my life, whether that's due to death, growing apart, or us parting ways for any other reason. You all have taught me lessons that have made me the strongest person that I can be, and I have learned so many lessons due to all of you. And Cameron, thank you for being my biggest supporter and my best friend. You've made me feel heard and loved, and I couldn't thank you enough. And lastly, to my classmates, you all are the only group of people I would wake up at 7 in the morning just to go see for a whole day. We've been there for each other through a lot, and we've made some amazing memories on the way. I couldn't thank you all enough for all the support you've given me over the years, and I'm really going to miss you guys so much. Thank you.
I tend to get very emotional, so just a heads up. Anyway, I'd like to start off with a special thank you to my mom. And if you don't mind, it's in Spanish, because I grew up speaking Spanish. So, gracias, mi mamá, por ser el soporte de mi vida entera. Su amor y cuidado por mí ha sido una bendición que ni puedo describir. Tú me hiciste todo lo que soy hoy, y no hay palabras que puedan agradecer todo el esfuerzo y trabajo que me dices a mí. Thank you to my brother Dylan for always being there for me no matter what, and having unconditional brotherly love for me, for never leaving me in the dark, and for always being there for me. I couldn't have asked or prayed for a better brother in my life. Thank you for my tia and my tío who have opened their doors and their hearts. They opened their doors and their hearts to us. We've done so much together and have made my life a complete joy to spend as a family. I also want to thank my cousins who have shown great support to me through their constant presence in my life, giving me advice, helping me through tough times, and just showing me the definition of family in general every day. No sé cómo empezar a agradecer a mi familia de la iglesia. Desde chico me han tomado de la mano y me han ayudado a crecer hasta este momento. Y les doy muchas gracias por eso. Gracias a mi Pastor Carralero, y por los pastores del pasado como Verduzco y Díaz por siempre estar ahí por mí, cualquiera la situación. And thank you to the Molina family for the love and support from them. As a child, I looked up to you both as my role models, and even today, I see you both as amazing people who I can still learn a lot from. For as long as I can remember, the Leon family has been there for us as well, helping us in any way possible and being the best friends a family could ask for. So thank you. And thank you to all the teachers and the staff who have continually gone out of their way to make sure I did well in school. They were always there for me no matter what, and weren't just my supporters, but my honest friends. I'd especially like to thank the Cummings family for all they've done for us as well, and my family. They've opened their doors to us too, and shown us love, and always made sure that it was all well for us, no matter what. And we cannot thank you enough for all you've done. It was a true honor for me to literally grow up in the Paredes home. They treated me as family and always included me in everything they've done. All the memories we've made and times we spent together will always have a place in my heart. So thank you for all the love and care you've shown me. I pray we see each other very soon again. The Martinez family has always been there for me for as long as I can remember. They've invested so much time in me, and I wouldn't be standing here today if it wasn't for them. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you. And to my class, I've grown to love you guys like a family. Of course, when I say prayers, I always mention that you guys are like family to me, and I really mean that. And thank you for all the moments we've shared together. And to everyone in my life, I want to thank you as well, because I wouldn't be here if it weren't for you. So thank you.
Okay, I would like to thank some people too. Dad, you really are one of my biggest role models, and I'm so glad you raised me to become the person I am today. Mom, thank you for encouraging me in everything I do and always showing me new places to get my coffee. Thank you to Garrett, Natalie, and Emma, and Bella for being the best siblings I could ask for. Natalie and Emma, you two make my life so much more fun, and I love hanging out with you guys. Thank you, Grandma Nettie and Grandpa Ralph, for taking care of me over the years and always giving me great advice and putting up with all my messes. Thank you, Gabby, and all your family for being so supportive of me. Thanks, Uncle Daniel and Aunt Sonia, for always being there for me. Thank you to the Wisners for being a second family to me. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you, Ariazas, for letting me come over all the time to hang out with you all. Thank you to the Velasquez family for being the coolest cousins out there. Kylie and GC and JoJo, you guys are so fun to be around. Thank you to the DeAnda family for all the fun times and memories we have created over the years. Thank you to all my teachers for being so encouraging and understanding these last 4 years. Thank you, Mr. Main, for being so open-minded and always encouraging us to look at the world from different perspectives. I appreciate everything you've done. Thank you, Coach, for always being so chill and encouraging me to do my best at everything I do. Thank you, Pastor Linda, for being such an easygoing person and always being open to talk. Thank you to my class for all the memories and being some of the coolest people I'll ever get to know.
Thank you, Mom and Dad, for pushing me to do my best even when I don't want to. Thank you, Evan, for always cleaning up after my messes. Thank you to Gungung and Pawpaw for picking me up and making food for me. Thank you to Yaya and Auntie Manny for all the delicious potato dishes you have made for me. Thank you to Guku, Uncle John, and Yun Yun for taking me on delicious food adventures. That's right. Thank you to the Roaches, Mallory's, Mrs. Terry, and Browns for all the fun Saturday afternoons during Bible Bowl. I have fond memories of our trips to Battle Creek, Chicago Deep Dish Pizza, Disney World, and NASA. Thank you to the Hamiltons for opening up their home every Saturday for our Saturday shenanigans. Thank you to my church family for all the prayers and support over the years. Thank you to the Lockwoods for making wontons for my graduation party and also decorations. Thank you to my class for all the fun memories I have had over the past 3 years. Thank you to my teachers for stressing me out over all the finals we've had over the years too.
And finally, thank you to the Ons for being my second family.
All right, so to start out, I just want to thank my mom and dad for literally being the reason why I exist today. And Mom, you're honestly like the strongest person I know. And going to Walla Walla, I'm going to miss you a lot. And thank you for always being a good role model. Dad, te amo mucho, te extraño y espero verte pronto. Thanks Daniel, David, and Alex for playing video games growing up. And making fun of me all the time. Thank you, Mr. Main, Pastor Linda, and Mr. Gorman for always being there for me and being supportive. Thank you to the kiddos, the Nelsons, the Lees, the Roaches, my Habibi, the Sayeggs, the Camerons and the DeWitts for always letting me come into your house. And I want to thank all my friends, Daniel DeWitt, Aaron Roach, Brady Nelson, Sam Sayegg, William Rios, Garrett, and Spencer for always being willing to hang out and being there for me. And thank you, Jasmine, for being willing to go out with me. I love you.
Thank you, Mom, for being there and supporting me. You have been such a hard-working, loving mom that has supported me from day one. Thank you for taking care of me and spoiling me even when you shouldn't have. Thank you, Dad, for pushing me to my limits and loving me to the most. Even though when you don't show it, I know that you will always have my back no matter what. Thank you for teaching me lessons about electronics and cars. Thank you, Seth, for being the best brother I've ever had. Even though... Even though we have both been mean to each other, we know it's barely love, brotherly love. Thank you for being the coolest brother, and I cherish all the times we have together. Thank you to my relatives and family that have supported me throughout my life. Thank you to Aubrey and the Brzezinskis for being there for me and supporting me. Thank you for welcoming me into the family and introducing me to your large family. Aubrey, thank you for the amazing silly drives when we sang throwback songs in the car driving home and to other places. Thank you, Roaches, for all those fun, exciting trips and doing fun and stupid things. You guys have supported me from day one, and I appreciate it so much. I love you guys. Thank you, Elise, for taking care of me on long trips and for your hospitality. Thank you, Hamiltons and Browns, for doing those random evening events. Thank you to all my teachers that have supported me throughout my years of classes. Thank you, Mr. Main, for being there, being a cool history teacher. Thank you, Mr. Borges, for being that cool music teacher on band tours. Thank you to all my teachers that have helped me throughout my school year. And last of all, thank you to the best classmates I could ever have. I could not have done it without you guys.
It gets harder and harder to talk as they go. Mother and father, I honestly don't know where to start. You guys have kept me around for 18 years, 2 months, 9 days, 7 hours, 42 minutes, and 13 seconds. And I don't know how you've done it. I've been a handful since day one and haven't ever stopped. Thank you for always picking me up when I fall and teaching me that my mistakes don't define me. You're the best parents I could ever ask for, and you guys always make me feel so loved and supported. And I'm eternally grateful for that. I love you guys so much. Laughing and crying. Blake and Bo, you guys are amazing little brothers, and I love you very much. I know I've been busy with school and other extracurriculars lately, so I'm not home a lot. I love and cherish the time that we spend together in the evenings, and I can't imagine not having you guys around. I'll miss you guys when I leave for college, and I'll try to come back and hang out whenever I can. To Sam Sag, my brother from another mother. We've been at it since 3rd grade. Thanks for all the adventures and good times, especially online school. And I wouldn't want to be graduating with anybody else. Thanks for all your love and support throughout the years. You're the best friend a guy could ever ask for. Papa and Zizi, thank you for always being there for me. I enjoy kiteboarding with you guys so much, and I'm so grateful for the support you have always given me. Thank you for helping me with whatever I put my mind to. You guys have helped shape me into who I am today, and I am grateful for your influence. Auntie Ashley and Uncle Bear, thank you for always keeping me in check. I know if I do anything, you'll find out and kick my butt before my parents even know. Uncle, thanks for being my project buddy and always being there for advice about literally anything. Thank you both for always being there as my confidants, sounding boards, and second parents. Poblanos and Wilsons, thank you both for being second family to me. I love you guys so much and cherish all the summers we spent together on the lakes and on other adventures. I'm so grateful for you guys and the life lessons you've taught me. Grandma and Grandpa Faraway, thank you for never forgetting any occasion and always having a card for everything. Your guys' support throughout the years has left me feeling so loved. Shelby, thank you for being a great big sister to me. You're always there for me with a smile and a big hug. You're the best advice, and I can't wait to move closer to you up in Washington. Leah, thanks for being a great supportive girlfriend. You have been such a joy in my life and have made long distance a breeze. Thanks for all the excuses of leaving school and having long weekends up there. I love you. Mimi, thank you for your love throughout the years. I love and miss seeing you around. Teachers, thank you for being there to help me when I needed it, and also for providing me with the classes I needed to get to this moment. Believe it or not, I actually enjoyed every single one of them, including advanced biology. Coach, thanks for bringing me back to PAA. Our never-ending discussions and banter make each day more fun. You've been a huge mentor in my life. Thank you for never giving up on me, despite my many shenanigans. I can truly say you've changed my life for the better. That's it.
Thank you to both my parents for always supporting me in everything I do my whole life, but especially this past year. Thank you, Dad, for always being there to help me in anything I need and always being so loving and accepting towards me. Thank you for being such a good listener and always making time for me. I couldn't have asked for a better dad. Gracias, Mami, por siempre estar ahí para mí y ayudarme en todo lo que necesito. No hubiera logrado nada sin ti. Te amo mucho. I love you both, and I can't imagine my life without either of you in it. Thank you, Lily, for being such an amazing sister. Even though we don't see each other as much anymore, you always make sure to check up on me. I appreciate you so much and have always looked up to you. Thank you for being such an amazing role model. I love you. And thank you to the rest of my family for also being really supportive towards me. I miss each and every one of you. Thank you to all the parents who have also been there for me, Mr. and Mrs. Weisner, Mrs. Olguin, Grandma Nettie, and Hermano Nice. Thank you to all of you for always being so kind and welcoming, for letting me in your home, and for blessing me with such amazing friends. Thank you to all my friends, which is basically my whole class. You guys have been such amazing people to be around. Thank you to each one of you for always being there for me in so many different ways, for always making me laugh and for giving me great advice when I need it. You guys will always have a special place in my heart no matter where we go. Words can't describe how much I'll miss seeing you guys every day and having you guys in my class. Thank you, Dylan, for being so supportive and always pushing me to do better and always putting a smile on my face. I'm so happy I get to have you in my life. Thank you to all the teachers who have taught me in my class, and thank you for always helping me and being so kind to me. I really appreciate all of you, and I'm going to miss being in your classes. And thank you to the rest of the staff that have made PAA such a great place to be in. Thank you.
Mom. Thank you, Mom, for being such a loving and hardworking mom. Thank you for always pushing me to do my best no matter what the task is, and for not letting me to do any less. You always support me and care for me, and always do your best for me. Thank you very much for being a patient with me, and I love you very much. Dad. Thank you, Dad, for everything you have done for me, and being such a loving father. Thank you for driving me to all my sports games or any events that I had. You have always been very patient with me, and would always do your best for me. I will cherish all the bike rides we have gone on together, and I hope we can go on many more. Thank you very much, and I love you very much. Caitlin, thank you for being the best big sister that anyone could ask for. I will forever cherish all the things we have done together. You always care for me and make sure I'm doing okay. I look forward to many more memories that we will make together. Thank you so much, and I love you very much. The Maui family, thanks for being friends with me almost my whole life. I will cherish the many trips we have been on, and I look forward to more. The Lee family, thank you for being family, friends, and always supporting me. I'm very grateful for all the things you've done for me. Ariaza family, thank you for always being nice to me and letting me stay at your house. I'm very grateful for that. The Brown family, thank you for always supporting me and being there for me. Thank you for always supporting me on my spiritual journey. The Give family, thank you for being very kind to me, and I will cherish all the bike rides we have gone on together. Mr. Ming, you have been a great influence in my life, and I'm very grateful that you always make sure that I'm looking in the current event. Thank you all for what you've done for me.
I can't possibly thank all of the people who've had an impact on my life, but I'd like to start by thanking my mom, my dad, and my sister for having to deal with me every day for so many years. And I'd like to specifically thank my grandparents who have supported me from afar, but who are going to have a bigger impact in my life and going to be here to support me more. I'm so thankful to all my extended family and how supportive they are of me, of all my aunts, uncles, cousins, and my other grandparents and beyond that. Thank you so much. I want to thank all of those who are like family to me, the Boutels, Judy, Gabby, Brady, and Mahalia. You guys have really impacted me, and I love spending time with you guys. I can't not thank all of my classmates for the time we've had together, and I would not be who I am today without all of the teachers and pastors who have poured into me throughout the years. I'm so blown away and thankful for the amazing people God has put in my life, and so one last time, thank you, everybody.
Hey guys. First, I would like to say thank you to my mom and dad. Sorry. Mom, I don't know how you have put up with me for so long. I'm so grateful to have you. So grateful to have you. I don't know where I am. I'm so grateful to have a mom like you. You have always put others before yourself, and that's something you have taught me to do. Dad, you being the workaholic that you are, has always motivated me to do and just get out of bed. Every time I didn't train an assignment, and you would always tell me the story about how you sacrificed your life as a teen and how hard work and achieving more than what you want in life can take you to bigger and better places in life. To my sister, we may have our differences and our opinions, and while I'm mostly right, you have taught me to not always just think about myself, but others. To my big brother, Mario, thank you for always helping me with whatever life throws at me. I've always came to you for schoolwork and advice. Thank you. Hatta class and Amanadad. Thank you for always opening your house up to me. And Amanadad, thank you for especially making me laugh with your broken English jokes. Another thing. Love you too, Mama. Another thing, Hatta class and Sataman. Please teach my mom how to make magloba the right way. To my grandma and grandpa, Sata Amal Sintaruf, Jiddo Hassan, and Jiddo Salim. Thank you for taking care of me as a kid and when my parents were gone. To my aunts and uncles, Hata Maha, Hata Rania, Hata Christine, Hata Shireen, my uncles Amma Zahir and Amma Bashar and Amma Rami, Hata Bashar and Hata Rami. You guys have taught me the significance of family and how important family is. Thank you. To my Amma Samad, you're not here with us today, but I know you're looking down and guiding me and where I go in life. I strive to be as good as you of a person one day, as you put your family first, and putting smiles on people's face and taking care of your family before yourself. Hata Georges, Hata Thanos, Hata Samira, thank you. To my second family, second parents, Dr. Jane Ellie and C. Nelson. If I'm not at my house, you can most likely find me at their house. Thank you for the trips, the food, the memories you guys have made with me, and for raising one of my best friends. Brayden. We have known each other since 3rd grade, and a day hasn't passed where you haven't made me laugh by hurting yourself or just randomly saying the first thing that comes to mind. I love you, bro. You always be by my side wherever we go in life. To my cousin, Brenda, Brandon, Heidi, and Fufu, and Matthew. Thank you guys for always pushing me to be a better me. Matthew and Fufu, you guys are people I look up to the most, helping me in the gym and teaching me about life lessons. Big Miley. You guys know who you are. Thank you for being the best group of friends I could have ever asked for. Dirty Mike and the boys. Brandon, Noah, Wilfred, and Blake. You guys have made my senior year the best I could have asked for. You guys have taught me to not care what others think of me and do what makes me happy. That's something I will hold on to forever. I love you guys. Finally, I would like to thank my teachers and my senior class for the memories. I want to say a special thank you to Coach Iyer and Mr. Main. You guys are both people I look up to for advice, and you guys are always checking up on my grades, making sure I do the work. I want to say a special thank you to Mrs. Muth. I literally wouldn't be up here without you. Literally coming up to me every day and basically telling me to do my English homework. That's it.
Well, this is really, really hard watching everyone cry. Pretty brutal setup, I'm not gonna lie to you. But first, I just want to thank God for getting me here because it definitely was not an easy job. Next, I want to thank my mom and my dad. You guys have always been my rocks, and I want to thank you so much for always being there and for supporting me. Mom, thank you for constantly being someone I can lean back on and always being there for a quick fix. I truly think that God laughed when he put us together, but I thank him all the time for it. Dad, you don't know how much I admire your level-headedness and kick-back attitude. Thank you for always reminding me that wherever I go and whatever I do, I'll always be your little girl. Shoot, I told myself I wasn't gonna cry. Jeff and Keith, I know I wasn't the sister you wanted. You didn't want a girl with a little too much of an attitude, but I was definitely the best thing that ever happened to the both of you, and you're really lucky to have me in your lives. But I guess the same vice versa. To my aunts, Audrey, Iris, and Dee Dee, and my uncles, Roy, David, and Jamie, and my cousins, John, Matthew, and Dennis, I am so honored to be the youngest and the only girl because we all know I'm really Grandpa's favorite. And I'm probably all of yours too, so. But I think that got taken by Marielle, but I'll give it to her because she's so cute. To the Dudars and the Hoffragas, thank you so much for being my second family. and keeping a second set of eyes on me. To the other parents that took me in, the Ramirez's, Grandma Nettie, the Nelsons, and Miss Holguin, thank you so much for being there for me and for feeding me and always making sure I knew I had your support. Wait, where's Coach? I see you, okay. I know I make fun of you all the time, and I tease you in front of the other volleyball girls, but you have truly become one of the closest mentors and friends, and someone I could really look up to. You're one of the biggest reasons I'm sad to be leaving PAA. Mr. Main, thank you so much for always standing up for what you believe in and never backing down. I admire the gifts that God gave you. Oh shoot, I can't even see now. And I'm so glad that you have been such an influential and supportive teacher in my life. To all my other teachers that had to put up with me, I know it seemed like at times God was testing you by putting me in your class, but really he was molding me and showing me patience and love through all of you. I know it wasn't easy, but I really appreciate it. My friends and my classmates, I know that all of you are gonna miss me a lot, and I'm gonna miss you too, but you guys have made this year one of the best years of my life, and I want you to know that if we don't stay in contact, I will personally be calling you at unruly hours in the night to hear about what's going on, and I will keep you updated on mine. You better count on that. To anyone I missed, please know that I'm running out of time, but you are in my hearts, and I love you so, so, so much. Thank you.
Get out of the floor. Virtual hug. We're going to say there wasn't a mistake. Well, they say that's what the insurance costs. My insurance
We'd like to bring everybody back within the next couple of minutes. And while the seniors are finishing up, we'd like to do what we can to get as many people into the shade as possible. So if there is a seat between you and the aisle, move towards the aisle. If everybody will move as far towards the aisle as they can, we'll open up as many seats under the shade as possible. If anyone has a seat beside them and that is not taken, get somebody's attention and have them come sit in there. This is an opportunity to make a new friend.
Oh, really? That's the first thing.
So if we can just have everyone remember to kind of move in towards the middle so everyone can be in the shade, that would be really nice. So before I introduce our speaker for today, I just wanted to give a huge thanks and say a few words about someone who has tremendously influenced PAA for the better and will truly be missed so much next year. So Mrs. Muth, will you please come up here, please? And everyone give her a huge round of applause. So wait, no, Mrs. Muth, will you please stay up here, please? So I could never scratch the surface of how amazing Mrs. Muth truly is, but I just want to tell a really short, I promised it would be short, a really short story, just to provide some more insight. So a couple weeks ago, I was not having a very good day. And in the moment, it felt like the worst day of my life, but that's really dramatic. So looking back, it was just a really bad day. And so many things were going on. Graduation was coming up. I think we were going on our senior class trip like in 5 days or something, and I was just a wreck. And this isn't the best time to say this because I just cried in front of all of you, but I really don't like to cry in front of people. And again, I was having a really bad day and I felt like I was gonna cry, but I didn't want to cry in front of my classmates because, I wanted to be like a tough girl, keep a tough girl attitude. So I was in the lobby and some people were walking around and I just felt myself starting to cry and I booked it to Mrs. Muth's office. And it wasn't really unusual for me to go talk to Mrs. Muth or bother her about something that she really didn't need to be bothered about. So I'm sure she was expecting me to come in there. But I walk in and I just started crying, like bawling my eyes out. And I was so embarrassed and I felt so bad that Mrs. Muth had to deal with this. But she just really, really quietly closed the door and just let me sit there and cry to her. She didn't try to pry. She didn't want to dig into what was going on. She just let me cry. And then before I knew it, she was crying too because it hurt her to see one of her kids hurting and one of her kids in pain. And that's kind of where it all comes together because how long have you been here? 32 years. That is so, oh my goodness. And in those 32 years, she has had thousands of students come into her office needing a quick fix, or in my case, just someone to be there for her. And she honestly could have just said, Stacy, get out. I have so many things to do. Or pull it together. You're graduating in a month. And I should have really. But the point is that Mrs. Muth, you are just one of the most amazing people I think I have ever met in my entire life. And the fact that you would let me sit there and cry to you and sympathize with me means so much more than you could ever imagine. If you have never been one of Mrs. Muth's students, I'm honestly truly sorry for you because the love she has for us is only comparable to the love that God has for his children. Mrs. Muth, I could stand up here for hours and talk about how amazing you are, and I would never do it justice. But I think I speak on behalf of my whole class and really everyone here when I say that you are one of the most amazing people any of us have ever met, and it is without a doubt one of my biggest honors to say thank you. So I really feel like I won the lottery this weekend with people I get to talk about, because not only did I just get to talk about Mrs. Muth, but I also have the privilege of introducing our speaker for today. Not only is this someone who has greatly impacted our class, and really anyone who has had him as a student, but he has also really influenced me as a person. You have given me tools not only to grow as a student, but as an individual. I will never be able to repay you for the voice that you gave me, but knowing my classmates, I can confidently say that you are one of the most influential and amazing people in our entire lives, and for that, we are forever grateful. So it is my big, huge, amazing honor to welcome Mr. James Main as our speaker for today.
Class of 2021, thank you for giving me the opportunity to be at your graduation and share some thoughts with you. I've missed your class so much this past year, and it's so good to see you again. It honestly seems like a short time ago that most of you were freshmen sitting in a semicircle on the floor of my classroom in paradise while we read stories on Fridays. At the same time, with everything that's happened between then and now, it seems like that was ages ago. I remember that was the year in which I learned that with some classes, even a seating chart can be futile, as there was no combination I could find that would manage your class's passion for talking with and harassing each other. Your graduation and entrance into the world of adulthood is happening at a very strange and difficult moment in our history. The most obvious current challenge is this pandemic that has upended our lives this past year, killing hundreds of thousands of our fellow Americans, sickening millions, not to mention the worldwide toll, disrupting our school, work, our social lives in profound ways. The pandemic has led to a widespread reimagining of how colleges should function, what the workplace should be like, and what we can expect from our society in a time of crisis. These dynamics have inserted a degree of uncertainty and instability into our ideas of what the future will be like. And even before the pandemic, our society was showing concerning signs of unraveling, with years of political tensions, gradual degradation of the very notion of truth. It's not hyperbolic to be concerned about whether or not you will have a functional democracy for your grandchildren to inherit someday. We are also in the midst of a climate crisis that requires a degree of collective cooperation that sometimes seems impossible. The world is about as confusing and overwhelming as it could be, and it's reasonable to feel disoriented as you head out into it. This is not a very encouraging start to a graduation speech, but I think it's important to take stock of this moment because it presents you with an incredibly important choice. When faced with uncertainty, instability, and a set number of years available to you in this life, how will you choose to live? One option is to make the most of your limited time and the precariousness of life by striving to maximize your own benefit. You can turn away from the confusion of the broader world and focus on your own self-interest. What do you want from life? What will make you happy? How can you navigate this world in a way to establish yourself? Graduation speeches are often a platform for speakers to encourage you to pursue your individual dreams, to give you advice for how to be successful. This will not be such a speech. The problem as I see it is that we can look around and see a society that results from a focus on individual success and self-fulfillment is not a very flattering scene. The track record of past generations, as evidenced by the history that has played out over the past century, is not good. Our society is unequal, insecure, unhappy, and has recently shown itself to be incapable of putting up with a minimal amount of discomfort to protect each other during a deadly pandemic. A distorted notion of liberty and a disregard for the common good have been a lethal combination. So often it is the younger generations that are blamed for the problems of society, kids these days. But you have grown up in a world that is not of your making. You did not ask to be born into this society with these dysfunctions, or to be born into an era of world history that is so messy. You did not ask to be tasked with saving the American experiment, or with fixing the deep systemic problems that past generations kicked down the road. You did not choose to be born at the tail end of a period of rampant industrial expansion, pollution, and disregard for how the environment would be negatively impacted by these things. You are coming of age in a world that is broken because of choices that you did not make. But you have a chance to choose a different future. What we need is for your generation to be a new type of generation altogether, one that pushes against the patterns and values of the previous status quo. In this context, there is a simple question that I want you to think about today while you reflect on the type of life you will carve out for yourself as you head out from this school. What do we owe to each other? What do we owe to each other? Whether people would voice an honest response or not, the answer to this question that many have shown in their actions and in their politics is effectively nothing. We owe nothing to each other. Each of us should look out for ourselves. Success is what you make of it, and you have no responsibility to anyone other than yourself. Some people show an understanding that we might owe a little bit to each other, but certainly not to the extent that the core planks on which they've built their livelihoods would be challenged. What I want to suggest to you today, graduates, is that approaching life without a deep sense of obligation to your fellow human beings will not make the future better than the present. Instead, doing so will continue the pattern of the past, which means the dynamics that are currently unraveling our world will be exacerbated and accelerated. So what do we owe to each other? The question is really about what makes human coexistence possible, about what it means to live together in a functional society and in a healthy world. We must feel a responsibility for others if we are to have a community at all. And our ability to give what we can to help others is what makes our world meaningful, as it builds the bonds of connection that will bring purpose to life. So how do we develop this sense of responsibility? I think it helps to realize that every human being is infinitely more than our generalizations and our categorizations about each other. You may be an American citizen, but you're so much more than that. You may be a daughter or a son or a graduate of Paradise Adventist Academy, but you also have countless physical traits that make you unique. You have opinions, beliefs, and preferences. I'm a millennial, so I was a Christian. I'm a son, a husband, a father, a friend, a white cisgendered male, a citizen of this world. As you all know, I have strong opinions about things. I love baseball, philosophy, Wes Anderson films, Kendrick Lamar's music. I could go on in the process of complicating my identity or yours, because all of us have infinite aspects to ourselves. The point is, when we understand that this can be done for every human being in the world, we will resist collapsing each other's identities to a single factor. We'll resist degrading stereotypes or nationalistic hostility to outsiders. Our beliefs as Christians also help clarify the answer to the question, what do we owe to each other? Foundational to our entire belief system are a few basic points. We were all created by a loving God. This God, in addition to loving us, wants us to love each other. Since we were created by a loving God, and since that God has called us to love each other, what do we owe to each other? We owe each other the dignity, respect, and love that comes with the recognition of each other's status as created beings. This is the fundamental responsibility we have as Christians, to love others. It is also the thing that is so easy to nod our heads to, yet abandon when it comes to actual life. One of the most difficult yet important things we can do is to expand our empathy and compassion so that it extends beyond our immediate family and close friends. As Jesus reminds us, it is easy to love our friends, but can we love our enemies? If we truly understand who we are in the eyes of God, then it's clear that what we owe to each other has to include the compassion and love that God has shown us. A word that speaks to this mindset is hospitality, which is fundamentally about sacrificing some of our immediate comforts when faced with the needs of another human being. This duty of hospitality transcends national boundaries and demands, for example, that we respond with compassion rather than heartlessness to a migrant family seeking a better life in an unequal world. It demands that we care about those who experience food insecurity or housing insecurity, regardless of where in the world they live. If our responsibility to each other as children of God requires us to be hospitable to those in need and to help out of our own abundance, we quickly might realize some scale limitations. Individually, we do not have enough to give to all who need it. This is where the role of a society becomes clear. We can create systems of organization and distribution that allow us to enact hospitality and justice at a larger scale. When we look around at the world as is, though, it is very clear that this doesn't happen very often. We have historic and institutional oppression baking inequalities into the fabric of our nation, and in the context of the world as is, this question again comes up. What do we owe to each other? We owe each other a sense of justice that will motivate us to fight on behalf of the oppressed, to help those who have suffered or are suffering from injustice. This is something, graduates, you can cultivate now. You can choose to care, to speak up about the things that need fixing in this world. The prophets of the Old Testament spoke consistently about our individual and collective responsibility to create a just society that takes care of the poor, embraces the immigrant, and protects the basic human rights of all people. Thus, we owe each other our efforts to ensure that each of us can enjoy living in such a world. We owe each other our efforts to improve society so that all can experience equal opportunity and a chance to have a good life. The mission statement, as you all know well, of Paradise Adventist Academy speaks to our obligation to each other directly. It comes from Micah 6:8. And it comes in the context of God clarifying to the people of Israel what he expects of them. In other words, their duties to each other and to God. He tells them that he does not want their sacrifices or their offerings. He wants them instead to do justly, love mercy, and walk humbly with God. Your time at PAA has hopefully equipped you academically and socially to transition into the adult world with confidence. But it is crucial to recognize that the mission of this school is not about equipping you for ambitious careers or financial success. The mission of this school is really about what we owe to each other and to God. All of this talk of duties and responsibilities may sound like a drag, especially on a day to commemorate your accomplishments and your transition to an exciting new phase of freedom and possibility. But there is a huge positive upside to deeply reflecting on our duties to each other. Life is so much better when we look out for each other. A society in which people take their responsibilities to each other seriously is a society that would be good to live in for all of us. Your life will be better. The lives of the next generation will be better. It is mutually beneficial for us to be hospitable to each other and for us to create systems and institutions founded on justice. You may not be convinced by an aspirational plea to care about your fellow human beings in a world that often incentivizes selfishness and ambition. After all, there are many, many examples of people who seem to live great lives by looking out for themselves. But there is a simple pragmatic reason to ponder what we owe to each other. Life is unpredictable, as we know well, and none of us know how our fortunes will turn out. You could have everything and then lose it all. The future is insecure and our lives are tenuous. So if we cultivate the type of world in which even the lowest person has access to a good life, we are in a sense protecting ourselves and our future generations from being victims of a cruel social order. Back in the 1980s, with the threat of nuclear war and the devastation that it would bring very much on the mind of most people, this band sung these lines. This is the world we live in. These are the hands we're given. Use them and let's start trying to make it a place worth living in. So what do we owe to each other? We owe each other the dedication of our efforts to better this world. Each of us has an impact on making the world a worse or a better place to live. This can show up in small ways, like deciding not to throw your trash on the side of the road since you know that if everyone did that, the world would be trashed. It can show up in larger ways by joining movements that advocate for peace and justice, by participating in our political process, by voting, supporting political causes that raise the standard of living for those at the bottom of our society. The point, I think, is to use the hands you have been given to try, even if you don't always succeed, to make the world a place worth living in. Your class and your generation gives me reason to hope. Your engagement with the world, your passion for justice, tolerance of differences among people, and creativity gives you a good foundation to go into the world and make it a more kind, just, and equitable place. If you can avoid the three traps of cynicism, apathy, and despair, then I think you will better this world.
Now, there are some areas in which your class has room to grow. For example, Yankee hats do need brims. Ben Shapiro is clever, but you can do better. And since you're alive in the golden age of third wave coffee, a finely pulled shot of espresso or freshly brewed pour-over is far superior than whatever Dutch Bros is offering.
Amen!
Also, I want to take this opportunity to have the last word on a matter of great concern. Solomon did not write Ecclesiastes. With that out of the way, I want to bring us back to what I hope is the core takeaway from my talk today. Life is much better when we consider each other and our obligations to each other, when we look out for each other's interests and work to make the world a fairer, more just place for everyone. I believe in you all and in your capacity to do this work, and I'm excited to see how your lives take shape beyond high school. It comes down to a choice to think about what we owe to each other, and it is as simple as taking each day as it comes in this regard. After all, how we spend our days is, of course, how we spend our lives. I love you all, and I'm so grateful to have had this opportunity to join you during this special weekend. Thank you.
Okay, seniors, you don't have to get up yet. I have a few things to say to them. You will have achieved a hurdle today. Graduation from high school. We've had some disappointments after the last several years with the fire and missing out on the DC trip because of COVID was just starting then, and they decided, nope, can't go to DC, can't travel. And the sports programs being suspended or finally getting to start do those this year. Some of you gave me a scare, but you managed to pull it off and earn the credits. And I applaud you, Sam Sayed. Almost all of you have been here for 4 years. One had to spread his wings and try something else for a year, but we're glad he came back to us, Braden. We have 6 students who have a GPA of 3.5 or above and have the gold cord. Well done. I applaud you. And one of our students has been here all 13 years. Stacy Weisner. It has been my joy and sometimes frustration to work with each of you. Now it is time to take another step up that ladder of life. Chairman of the board and esteemed board members, faculty of PAA, proud parents and your families, it is my distinct honor and joy to present to you the class of 2021 for graduation from Paradise Adventist Academy. Amanda Grace Kitto. Spencer Meta Fitzgerald Gibb. I think you're supposed to go in front. I don't know how this is working. This is what happens when you miss a practice for your granddaughter's 8th grade graduation. We'll get it. Mahalia Sakari Swires. And they are pretty butterflies. William Jared Rios. Jasmine Alicia Orozco. Ethan Liren Lee. Samuel Esteban Ariaza. Garrett Quentin Mallory.
I love you, Garrett.
I love you more.
No.
Emily Cecilia Ramirez. My apologies, because it evidently hurt somebody that my eyes went too far down. Braden Douglas Nelson. Aaron Connor Roach.
I love you more.
Eli Joseph Rolfe. Sam Maher Saeg. Oh, 13 years. Stacy Nicole Weisner.
Let's bow our heads for the final prayer, please. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much, Lord, for everything. Thank you that we can come together as one here, Lord, and thank you for the gift of progress, the gift of the future, Lord. And we thank you because you brought together this class of wonderful individuals, and they were able to complete a lot in your name, Lord. We thank you for the staff, the teachers, this wonderful school. Although it's seen its moments, we've been able to move forward, Lord. And we know that it's all thanks to you. And we can't thank you enough for it. We thank you for this class, the class of 2021. And we pray that you be with them, Lord, as they part ways. May they make differences wherever they go. May they continue to change the world and continue to do everything for you, Lord. Thank you for everything. Thank you for everyone present. Thank you for the gift of family and friends, for health, and for beautiful days such as these, Lord. We thank you for everything you've given us, and we continue to pray for this class. Thank you for everything. We pray in your name. Amen. Amen.
Yes, anyone who would like to get a photo of this fine-looking group, come forward. Now I would like to present to you the graduating class of 2022. They are now seniors.